Good morning, students. So today our lesson topic is electrochemistry. So simply, under this topic, we have to talk about electrochemical cells, electrolysis, and under electrolysis, we have to talk about sodium chloride extraction, sodium extraction, electroplating, and then finally about corrosion and rusting. Okay, so these are the topics we are going to discuss today. So we'll start the session. First, we'll see what is this electrochemical cell. Okay, so if somebody asks, what is the electrochemical cell that we have seen that we are seeing in our day-to-day life? What is the electrochemical cell we are seeing in our day-to-day life? If someone asks like that, I can just give the answer like this. It is the electrochemical cell we see in our day-to-day life is the cell or the battery. Okay, so battery is an electrochemical cell. Okay, then there is another point you have to remember here. What is happening? We use batteries to produce electricity. Okay, and we know that there are chemicals inside this battery. Inside this battery, there is chemical energy, and that chemical energy is getting transferred into electrical energy during when in the energy transition of battery. So here, this is the energy transition, that is the transference that is happening in the battery, in the electrochemical cell. Okay, so what is the energy transference happening in the electrochemical cell? Here, chemical energy stored in batteries converted into electrical energy. Okay, then you might think something like this. Okay, then I'm going to tell another golden point you have to remember. But sometimes when I said it now, you won't understand it clearly. But after I explain the other theories, you will understand this point. Okay, here I'm saying that these electrochemical cells, lesson name is electrochemistry, and our subtopic is electrochemical cell. Electrochemical cell. And I said that in an electrochemical cell, chemical energy is transferred into electrical energy. And on the other hand, I'm going to say that electrochemical cell, the chemical reactions that are taking place in the electrochemical cell are spontaneous reactions. So what are these spontaneous reactions? Spontaneous reactions can for that reactions to happen, it is not needed for us to give extra energy, extra potential difference. අපිට මේ reactions වෙන්න, මේ electrochemical cell එකේ තියෙන reactions වෙන්න අපිට extra potential එකක් දෙන්න, it is not needed for us to give an extra potential. That means spontaneous ඉබේම happening. Okay, so that extra potential difference is not needed. මේ spontaneous reaction කියලා කියන්නේ extra potential difference එකක් දෙන්න ඕනේ නැහැ. ඒ කියන්නේ මෙන්න මේ electrochemical cell එකක් හදන්න potential difference එකක් දෙන්න ඕනේ නැහැ කියන්නේ. That means we should not connect a battery. it is not needed for us to connect a battery for this to make the electrochemical cell. Okay, so just the chemicals inside the electrochemical cell react with each other, and they produce a they produce a potential difference, and it is not needed for us to give a potential difference. Okay, ඒ කියන්නේ දැන් මේ electrochemical cells අඳිද්දී කවදාවත් අපි battery එකක් connect කරගන්නේ නැහැ. Okay, it is not needed to give extra potential energy. Okay, but when we are talking about electrolysis, අපි electrolysis ගැන කතා කරද්දී we should give an extra potential. That means we should set a battery when we are discussing about electrolysis. But for the electrochemical cell, it is not needed to connect a battery. Okay, that means extra potential difference because they are spontaneous reaction. Okay, so these are the 2 points you have to remember before before we are stepping into the electrochemical cell drawing part. Okay, so remember this thing. I'm going to erase the reactions. Okay, erase the board. Okay, then here the first topic we are discussing is how. Now the question we get, how to draw the simplest electrode. How to draw the simplest electrode. How to draw the simplest electrode? You might think, how to draw the simplest electrode? Not electrochemical cell. Simplest electrochemical cell. Okay, now in the exam they are asking to draw the simplest electrochemical cell. How to draw? What to draw? Here, it is like this. This is the way we can draw the simplest electrode. Okay, simplest electrode here. The board is not here. Right? This is the way to draw the simplest electrode, or say simplest electrochemical cell. This is the simplest electrochemical cell we can draw. Okay, you might think, so what is this and what is this? Okay, here this is in electrochemical cell part. This is more always this is an electrode. Okay, electrode, and most of the time in electrochemical cell this electrode is a metal. Okay, my electrodes electrochemical cells වල ගොඩක් වෙලා most of definitely in electrochemical cell part these electrodes are metals, but electrolysis it is not essential to be metals. Electrolysis වලදී මේ electrodes metals වෙන්න ඕනේ නැහැ, but in electrochemical cells that should be a metal. Okay, and this part, so what is this part? මෙන්න මේ liquid part එකට කියනවා අපි මේ electrode එක dip කරලා තියෙන liquid part එකට we are calling it as electrolyte. Okay, so the liquid part we call it as electrolyte, and then the metal rod we are dipping in the electrochemical cell we are calling it as electrode. So then we have to see what are the criteria. Is all the liquids become electrolytes? Answer me. But answer seven chat bar එකෙන් මේ හැම electrolyte එකක්ම is every liquid being an electrolyte? I'm saying a statement, every liquid is an electrolyte. Is that correct or wrong? Every liquid is an electrolyte. Is that correct or wrong? Yes, that is not correct. Okay, every liquid is not an electrolyte. හැම liquid එකක්ම electrolyte එක නෙමෙයි. So what are electrolyte? Electrolyte එකක් වෙන්න පුළුවන් liquids මොනවාද? හරිද? Electrolyte එකක් වෙන්න පුළුවන් liquids තමයි, it can be liquid ionic solutions. Then the second thing is aqueous ionic solution. Okay, aqueous ionic solutions. So here liquid ionic solutions and aqueous ionic solutions can be taken as, can be considered as the electrolyte, can be taken into the liquid with which we are entered into the electrolyte. So what is this? What is the difference between this liquid ionic solutions and ionic solutions? Ionic solutions කියන්නේ මොකද්ද? Liquid ionic solutions කියලා කියන්නේ මොකද්ද? That is the case we are getting. Okay. Here it is like this. Then අපි ගත්තම ionic solutions කියලා. Ionic solutions are the solutions which contain liquids that can be decomposed, that can be decomposed into the ions, that can be broken down into the ions. Here we see like this. Sodium chloride. Sodium chloride, it can be in the liquid state or in the aqueous state. It can be broken down into its ions. Sodium plus ions and chlorine minus ions likewise. හරිද? හැබැයි අපි liquid ionic solution එකක් කියලා කියන්නේ if this sodium chloride is in liquid state. If the sodium chloride is in liquid state, we are calling this as a liquid ionic solution. Okay. So what is aqueous ionic solution? Aqueous ionic solution means if the sodium chloride aqueous. Okay. That means if the sodium chloride is in liquid state, that is a liquid ionic solution. If sodium chloride is in aqueous state, that is aqueous ionic solution. Okay. Aqueous ionic solution. Here also it is divided, broken down into its ions. Cl minus, Na plus and sodium plus ions and chloride ions. Okay. Here aqueous state, all these are aqueous state, but there is another doubt. Okay. Is this sodium plus ions and chlorine minus ions are the only ions in this aqueous ionic solution? No. That is the golden point you have to remember. මේ sodium plus ion and chloride minus ions විතරක් නෙමෙයි aqueous solution එකක තියෙන්නේ. Aqueous means what? It contains water. That means these aqueous solutions, aqueous ionic solution should contain water other than this ionic solution. මේ ionic sodium chloride කියන ionic solution එකට ඇරෙන්න it should contain water even. Water තියෙනවා කියලා කියන්නේ water is also decomposed into H plus ions and OH minus ions. All these are aqueous. So that the difference between the liquid ionic solution, and aqueous ionic solution is liquid ionic solution contains only the ions that is belonging to the ionic solution. But the aqueous ionic solution contain both ions that is belonging to the ionic solution, and it contains ion belonging to water, because aqueous solutions contain water. Did you get that? Send me a chat. If you get the point, send me yes in the chat box. Okay, great. Right, okay. So I'm going to erase the board. I'm giving some seconds if you want to get a screenshot. Okay. So we are going to other part. Okay. I'm going to erase the board. Yes. Now we are going to the other point, simplest electrochemical cell. Simplest electrochemical cell. We'll see what is this simplest electrochemical cell we can do. Simplest electrochemical cell. Simplest electrochemical cell. We'll see what is this simplest electrochemical cell. Okay. Here, this is the simplest electrochemical cell we can draw. Just dipping an electrode in an electrolyte. Just dipping an electrode in an electrolyte. Electrolyte අපි නිකම්ම electrode එකක් dip කරාම that becomes the simplest electrochemical cell. How? We'll see. Students, I have to say something like this, a special point. Okay. So in this electrolyte, in our syllabus, අපේ syllabus එකේදී ගොඩක් වෙලාවට most of the always, that is like always we are using දැන් අපි කියවනේ ionic solutions and aqueous ionic solutions විතරයි use කරන්න පුළුවන් කියලා මෙන්න මේ solution එක විදියට. හැබැයි in our syllabus මේ ඉච්චර criteria මේව කරාම because there is a doubt that ඔයගලන්ට බෑ තාම what is ionic solution කියලා හොයාගන්න. Okay, that is a little bit hard for you. ඒක නිසා they are just taking හැම වෙලාවෙම මේගොල්ලන් ionic solution එක විදිහට අරන් තියෙන්නේ diluted, that means aqueous solution එකක් අරන් තියෙන්නේ. Diluted means it contains low amount of water. Diluted H2SO4. Diluted H2SO4. Most of the time in the electrochemical cell part, only, okay? In the electrochemical cell part, they have used diluted H2SO4. Okay? You have to see diluted H2SO4. And then we'll see what is happening here. Now, once we dip in here, imagine that this is a zinc electrode. Make a zinc electrode. So what is happening? Once we dip this zinc in diluted H2SO4, with the time what is happening is, with the time this electrode starts to dissolve in this diluted H2SO4. That means the zinc electrode is starting to dissolve in this diluted H2SO4. So what is happening? Zinc electrode dissolves in diluted H2SO4. Is that the only thing? No. I will say what is happening, the other observation also, but we have to write the reactions for that in the coming parts. Okay, here first observation we can see zinc dissolves in diluted H2SO4, and also we can see emission of hydrogen gas. Okay, emission of hydrogen gas. So then after hydrogen කියලා අපිට can we see that it is hydrogen? No. Observation කියලා කිව්වට අපිට hydrogen කියලා කියන්න බෑ. We have to prove it by doing by putting a glowing splint into the near the zinc plate. Then you will hear a pop sound, and that will prove, and that will make these scientists to come into a conclusion that that the gas emitting is hydrogen gas. Other than that, hydrogen gas emit වෙනවා නෙමෙයි අපිට පේන්නේ නිකන් gas bubbles මෙහෙම මේ electrolyte එකේ emission of gas bubbles තමයි පේන්නේ. We don't know what is that gas. Okay, but I said that I know නේ මම දන්නවනේ. Okay, so that is why I said that emission of hydrogen gas. Okay, you can write as emission of gas bubbles also as the observation. So that first observation is zinc dissolving in diluted H2SO4. Second example is emission of H2 gas. Then now we are coming to the wait. Okay, so the two observations we can see: zinc dissolves in diluted H2SO4 and emission of hydrogen gas. Okay, done. And then now we are going to see the reactions. Okay, here now we are going to see the reactions. What are the reactions is here. First, we have to know in electrochemistry, electrochemistry wala there are two types of reactions. In electrochemistry, there are two types of reactions. What are the two types of reactions? Oxidation reaction and oxidation half reaction and reduction half reaction. Oxidation half reaction and reduction half reaction. Now we have to see how to write this. Oxidation and reduction half reactions. How to write this we have to see. Okay, we'll see now. Okay. I'm going to ask from yes. If you know the activity series, please put an yes to the chat bar. If you know the activity series. If you know the activity series, please put an yes. Okay, we'll see. Okay, here what is happening? Here sink is there. Okay, sink is there. So what is happening to sink is turning into its ions. Sink is turning into its ions. Zinc 2 plus ions. Okay, zinc is turning into its zinc 2 plus ions. So what we have to say, කොහොමද දැන් අපි මේක මේ කියන්නේ? මේ zinc plate එක හොඳට තිබ්බනේ ඉස්සල්ලා. So what is happening? මෙන්න මෙතනින් zinc 2 plus ions මෙන්න මෙහෙම එළියට එන්න ගන්නවා. aqueous solution එකට zinc 2 plus ions එනවා. Okay? Here remember students, yes, remember that here something is happening. Then may Zn2 plus, when we are balancing a reaction, we should balance every chemical reaction. So how to balance this chemical reaction is, you have to do something like this. You have to balance the atoms. Okay. First you have to balance the atoms and the molecules. That means left hand side the atom should be equal to the number of right hand side in atoms. And other than that, after balancing the atoms, first you should balance the number of atoms and then you should balance the charges. Okay, then you should balance the charges. Here you can see zinc. Zinc have turned into zinc 2 plus ions. Here we can see zinc we can dissolving means that is breaking down into zinc 2 plus ions. So what we are going to do is we are saying whether the number of atoms are same. Yes, number of here also one zinc atom, here also one zinc atom. So that the atoms are 1, 1. So that the atoms and the ions are balanced. But what about the charges? Here charges become 0. Methanadinan charges 0. Because zinc doesn't have any charge. But here zinc is having 2 plus charges. Okay, මෙතනදී +2 charge එකක් තියෙනවා zinc වල. So what should we do is, in balancing reaction, then what should we do? අපි ඊට පස්සේ කරන්න ඕනේ වැඩි charge එකක් තියෙන කෙනාව electrons දාලා අඩු කරන්න ඕනේ. We should reduce the high charges by adding electrons. Reduce high charges, adding electrons. Okay, electrons add කරලා high charges reduce කරගන්න ඕනේ. So here මේ දෙන්නගෙන් කවුද high charge එක? 0 plus 2. Plus 2 is the high charge. So what we are going to do? අපි plus 2 එක 0. We have to balance them. Plus 2 එක 0 කරන්න ඕනේ. Okay? මොකද වැඩි එක්කෙනාව මේ අඩු එක්කෙනාගේ ගානට ගේන්න ඕනේ. So what we are going to do? We are going to add 2 electrons to this side. 1 electrons mean 1 negative charge. Okay? 2 electrons mean 2 negative charges. So that plus 2 plus minus 2 will become 0. Okay, so that the charges also become balanced after adding these electrons. Okay, here is a way to write the balanced chemical equation. Okay, for the simplest electrochemical cell. So here, and also we are calling this reaction as oxidation. Why we are going to call this as oxidation? ඇයි අපි මේකට දැන් oxidation කියලා කියන්නේ යන්නේ? This is somewhat like this. ඇයි අපි මේකට oxidation කියලා කියන්නේ? Because here oxidation state එක තියෙන්නේ always අපේ syllabus එකේ විදියට. Okay, for your syllabus I am going to tell like this. Okay, this is not applicable for every instance. හරිද? අපේ syllabus එකේ විදියට here this one is 0, here this one is +2, so that what has happened to the charge? Charge has increased. If the charge has increased, reactant side එකේ තියෙන product side එකට products form වෙද්දී, if the charges are increasing, that means it is an oxidation. Okay, fourth golden point, if charges increases from reactant to product side, that means that is the oxidation. Okay, on the other hand, if the charges decrease වෙනවා නම්, that is a reduction. Okay, if the charges decreases, that is reduction. Okay, that is what we are called as reduction. And oxidation කියලා කියන්නේ, here the charge is 0, here the charge is +2. So what happened? Charge has increased, so that this is the oxidation half reaction. Okay, this is the oxidation half reaction. So done. Then අපි oxidation half reaction එක නම් ලියා ගන්න. So how to write the reduction half reaction? මේක මනික් පැත්තට ලියනවද? Zinc 2 plus zinc වෙනවා කියලා? No, that is not happening නේ. මෙතන zinc 2 plus වෙන එක වෙන නිසා ඒක තමයි වෙන්නේ. Okay, here electrons are deposited on the electrode. හරිද? electrode එකේ මෙහෙම electrons තියෙනවා. මේ electrons ටික. While these zinc 2 plus are released into the aqueous solution, into the diluted H2SO4 solution during the dissolving of zinc plate, electrons are gathered into this electrode. Harida zinc electrode. Okay, and here oxidation half reaction is done. So what is the reduction half reaction? If there is an oxidation half reaction, definitely there should be a reduction half reaction also. So what is this reduction half reaction? How to find this? Here's the way to find the reduction half reaction. Okay, අපිට අමතක වෙච්ච එක දෙයක් තියෙනවා. There is something that we have found. That is, this diluted H2SO4 is an aqueous ionic solution. That means ionic aqueous solution means ionic aqueous solution එකේ මම කිව්වා ඒගොල්ලන් solution එකක් විදියට ඉද්දි they are breaking down into its ions. ඒගොල්ලන්ගේ ions වලට break down වෙනවා. So කොහොමද ions වලට break down වෙන්නේ? Here diluted H2SO4 is decomposed into its, breaking down into its ions as H plus and SO2 sulfate ions and H plus ions. Okay, මේ solution එකේ මේ H2SO4 විදියට නෙමෙයි ඉන්නේ. Always that is a common thing to aqueous ionic solutions and ionic solutions. They are dissolving into its ions. Ions වලට ඒගොල්ලෝ break down වෙනවා. I think H2SO4 ඉන්නේ H plus and SO2 minus 4 විදියට. SO4 2 minus. So that oxidation happened in zinc. That is true. Then definitely දැන් ඉතින් වෙන කවුරුත් නැහැනේ reduction reaction එක වෙන්න. Definitely මේ දෙන්නකින් එක්කෙනෙක් තමයි reduction reaction එක වෙන්න ඕනේ. We have to remember අපි දැන් sulfate එක වැඩි වැඩ කරන්න දන්නේ නැහැ. Okay, අපි sulfate එක වැඩි වැඩ කරන්න දන්නේ නැහැ. So what we are going to do, අපි මොනවද කරන්නේ? අපි sulfate එක වැඩි වැඩ කරන්න දන්නේ නැති නිසා we are going to choose H plus. දැන් මේක choose කරනවා නෙමෙයි. That is automatically happening. දැන් අපිට තෝරගන්න විදියක් තමයි මම මේ කියන්නේ. Okay, because these are spontaneous reaction. I said you once. Okay, මේවා spontaneous reaction මේක තමයි වෙන්නේ. හැබැයි අපිට doubt එකක් එනවා දැන් සල්ෆේට් අයන එකද තෝරගන්නේ H+ අයන එකද තෝරන්නේ කියලා. ඒක නිසා තමයි මම කිව්වේ අපි සල්ෆේට් එක වැඩි වැඩ කරන්න දන්නේ නැහැ. So then we are choosing the what is happening, the reduction reaction happens to H+ ions. Okay, so what is this H+ ions? Reduction වෙනවා නම් මොකද්ද වෙන්න ඕනේ? When the reaction is processing from reactant to product side, the charges should decrease. Okay, charges decrease වෙන්න ඕන. on a reduction reaction එකේ charges decrease වෙන්න ඕනේ. here අපිට reactants විදියට දැන් තියෙන්නේ H+ ions. okay, H+ aqueous ions තමයි තියෙන්නේ. මොකද aqueous solution එකක මේක තියෙන්නේ. H+ ions are there. So that what is the charge? Charge is +1. And we have to reduce this. Charge එක reduce කරන්න එපානේ reduction reaction එක වෙන්න. So that what we are going to do, අපි මොනවද කරන්නේ? Can you remember that H2 gas? H2 gas? Here. On a hydrogen gas. We are going to name it is what is happening is H+ ions are reduced into hydrogen gas. So hydrogen gas වලට තියනවාද charge එකක්? No. මේ යට දාන්න charge එක නෙමෙයි. That means 2 molecules of hydrogen are there. 2 atoms of hydrogen are there කියන එක තමයි මෙතනදී කියන්නේ. මේ බලන්න here +1 charge is there, but here no charge is there. 0 charge is here. Okay, but now we have to the reduction reaction. Okay, this is the reduction reaction. This is the reduction reaction, and now we have to see that. Okay, this is the reduction. Wait, this is the reduction reaction. Now we have to okay, this is the reduction reaction. We have to balance it now. Now we are going to balance it. So how to balance it? H+ ions here. First we should, when balancing, we should balance the number of atoms. We'll see whether the atoms, number of atoms are balanced. Here 1 H+ ion is there. Here 2 hydrogen atoms are there. So is that balanced? Balance rather than make it. No. So we have to make our balance karanna na. Here already there are 2 hydrogen atoms. To balance this, we have to do like this. 2H+, 2H+. මේ පැත්තේ 2 hydrogen තියෙනවනේ, මේ පැත්තේ 2 hydrogen තියෙනවා. So first we balance the atoms. Okay, now good. Now fine. Okay, now we have balanced the atoms, number of atoms. Now we have to see whether the charges are balanced. Charges balanced කියලා බලන්න තියෙන්නේ. Okay, charges balanced කියලා බලද්දී here no, charges are imbalanced. මෙතන +1 charge එකක් තියෙනවා. But after we balance the atoms, we saw that here 2 hydrogen atoms are there. That means 2 times +1. That means +2 charge is there. +2 charge is there. Then ඉස්සෙල්ලා අපි +1 කියලා කිව්වේ එක hydrogen atom එකක් තිබිච්ච නිසානේ. හැබැයි අපි atoms balance කරාම දැක්කා here there are 2 hydrogen atoms, 2H+ atoms, ions. ඒක නිසා 2 times +1 ions තියෙනවා. That means +2 ions තියෙනවා. And then other one is H2 ions, that the charge is 0. So that on the balanna, so that here reduction has happened. Charge has decreased. +2 indala 0 වෙනකම් charge එක decrease වෙලා. So that this is the reduction reaction. Is that balanced now? Charges balanced තාම? No. Here +2 charge is there. Here 0 charge is there. So what should we do to balance the charges? We should decrease the high charges. High charges තියෙන පැත්ත, low charges තියෙන පැත්තට side එකේ විදියට අඩු කරලා ගන්න ඕනේ. So what we are going to do is here 2 electrons are there. 2 plus charges are there. To reduce this, we are going to add electrons. To reduce the charges by adding electrons. Yes. We need to get +2 into 0. So what we have to do? We have to add 2 electrons. We have to add 2 electrons. 2 electrons means 2 negative charges. -2 charge. So that -2 plus +2 is altogether it becomes 0. So that the charges become balanced. මේ පැත්තට electron 2 electrons දැම්මම charges balance වෙනවා. So these are the oxidation half reaction and reduction half reaction that is takes place in the simplest electrochemical cell. Okay. Since there are very small number of participants, okay, actively participating students, if you have any question, please you can ask me. Okay, others you can write this down. මොකද මේක තේරුම් නැත්නම් අපිට ඊළඟ පාඩම් ගද්දී it will be a mess. Okay, while writing, if you have any question, please ask from me, I'll answer. Okay, here it goes like this. හරිද? දැන් ඔන්න මුලින්ම explain කරන්න යන්නේ. මේක somewhat complex structure than the simplest electrochemical cell. So, simplest electrochemical cell එකේ we just dipped one electrode in the solution. But here what we are going to do, අපි මේ electrodes දෙකක්ම dip කරනවා. Same type of electrodes? No. Different types of electrons. And these electrodes in the electrochemical cell part. Electrochemical cell එකේදී නම් these electrodes definitely should be metals. මේ electrodes හැම එකක්ම metals වෙන්නම ඕනේ in the electrochemical cell topic. හරිද? So that I randomly choose zinc and copper as the two different metals. Harida. Now we are going to write the oxidation and reduction half reaction for this. Okay. How to write the oxidation and half reaction? First we should choose then isalla zinc zinc විතරයිනේ තිබ්බේ. ඒක නිසා zinc को reduce කරා. Now we have to choose whether the oxidation is taking place in the zinc and or copper. Copper වලද oxidation එක වෙන්නේ zinc වලද oxidation එක වෙන්නේ කියලා බලන්න වෙනවා. So when we are seeing that one, we have to consider the activity series. Activity series එක බලන්න වෙනවා. All the children should remember this activity series. And the short trick I will send it to the WhatsApp trick to remember. Here I am going to write. Please stop calling me as zebra, eye, tidy like hot, cute, male, squirrel, penguin, ground. Okay? Then මෙහෙම ලියාගෙන මේ දෙන්න බලනවා. Zinc වයි copper වයි circle කරනවා. අපේ 2 electrons වල. එතකොට here zinc is there, here copper is there. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to choose the electrode where the oxidation reaction is going to happen. So what is the electrode where the oxidation reaction is happening is zinc. කොහොමද මම ඒක choose කරේ? Oxidation වෙන්නේ උඩ තියෙන කට්ටියකින්. Higher levels වල ඉන්න. මේ දෙන්නගේ ඒ කියන්නේ අපි choose කරගන්න electrodes වල higher levels වල ඉන්න එක්කෙනාගේ තමයි oxidation එක වෙන්නේ. So that when comparing zinc and copper, උඩ තියෙන්නේ කවුද? Zinc. So that oxidation is happening in zinc. So what is oxidation? Now we are going to write oxidation. Here zinc. Zinc, initially zinc plate is there. Zinc is converting into zinc 2 plus ions. Okay? So first we are now reaction now we have to balance this reaction. In balancing, first we should balance the atoms. Then atoms balance. How to balance? One zinc is there, one zinc ion is there. Okay, atoms are balanced. Then we have to balance the charges. Charges balance here 0 charge is there, here plus 2 charge is there. Is the charge balanced? No. ඒක නිසා අපි මොකද කරන්නේ? මේ charge එක reduce කරගන්න ඕනේ by adding electrons. Electrons may highest charge should be reduced into lower charge. That means by adding electrons we are going to reduce this charge. Okay, so that a plus 2 charge we are going to reduce it into negative 2 ions. Okay, that means plus 2 plus 2 තියෙන side එකට 2 electrons add කරාම negative 2 charge එකක් add වෙනවා. So that plus 2 plus negative 2 that will become 0 altogether. The charges will be balanced in the both sides. Okay, this is the oxidation reaction. Now reduction reaction. Hari zinc එක oxidize වුණා. Okay, and no any doubt that copper will become reduced. කියලා හිතන්න පුළුවන්. That is wrong. Copper won't reduce. Copper reduce වෙන්නේ නැහැ. Why is that? මේ copper නේ තියෙන්නේ. කවදාවත් metals වලට negative. Then copper having a charge of 0. reduce වෙනවා කියලා කියන්නේ 0 ට වැඩි අඩු charge එකක් හැදෙන්න ඕනේ copper වල. But metals never forms negative ions. Metals කවදාවත් negative ions form කරන්නේ නැහැ. So that මේ copper ට reduce වෙන්න බෑ. Oxidation එකක් වුණාට metals වල reduction එකක් වෙන්න බෑ. හරි. Somewhat odd, but that is the theory. Okay. Okay. So only oxidation is there, reduction is not there. Nah. If there is an oxidation, there should be a reduction definitely. So where this reduction happens and what is reducing, we have to see. Then අපිට පේනවා මේ solution එකේ ions තියෙනවා H+ ions and sulfate ions. Okay? මේ වලින් H+ ions නේ. How did you choose? අනේ අපි මේවත් එක්ක වැඩ කරන්න දන්නේ නැහැනේ. So that definitely the reduction should happen at the H+ ions. H+ ions වල තමයි reduction එක වෙන්න ඕන. හරි. Okay, so that the reduction is happening in H+ ions. H+ ions are converting into hydrogen gases. H2 gas. So that here we can see H+, here H2. So now we have to කොමාරි reaction එක නම් ලියාගත්තා. Now we have to balance. How to balance it? First we should balance the atoms. Here 2 hydrogen is there, but here only 1 hydrogen is there. To balance this, I am going to put 2. Okay. So now 2 H+ ions and 1 hydrogen gas molecule is there. H2 gas molecule is there. Now, hurry, atoms balance. Now we have to balance the charges. How to balance the charges? Here +1 charge is there. ඉස්සෙල්ලා බලන්න ඕනේ charges මොනවද කියලා. +1 charge is there. But there are 2 hydrogen atoms නේ. So the hydrogen ions නේ. That means 2 times +1 charges are there. That means +2 charges තමයි තියෙන්නේ. Here hydrogen වල නම් no any charge. 0 charge is there. So that 0 is there. So we balance කරන්න නම් we should reduce the high charge values into the low charge values by adding electrons. Electrons add කරලා මේ +2 ව 0 කරන්න ඕනේ. So ඉතින් +2 ව 0 කරන්න නම් we should add -2 charges. -2 add කරන්න ඕනේ. -2 add කරන්න 2 electrons දාලා. Okay, because 1 electron is equal to 1 negative charge. So this is the way to write the balance reduction reaction. Okay, I hope you have got and දැන් හිතනවා ලියාගත්තා කියලා. තාමත් ලියාගත්තේ නැත්නම් screenshot එකක් ගන්න. Okay, I'm giving you 5 seconds. Okay. අපි දැන් reactions ලිව්වා. Okay. දැන් අපිට ලියන්න තියෙනවා complete ionic reaction එක. දැන් මේ ඔක්කොම ලිව්වේ half reactions නේ. Half reactions විතරක් ලියලා මදි. We have to write the complete reactions. Complete reaction එක ලියන්න කිව්වොත් complete reaction එක ලියන්න ඕනේ. හරිද? Complete reaction එක ලියන්න කිව්වම නිකන් ඉඳලා හරියන්නේ නැහැ. මේ half reactions විතරක් කියලා. Complete reaction එක ලියන්න කිව්වම complete reactants ටික ලියන්න ඕනේ නිසා මෙන්න මෙහෙම ලියනවා. මේ left side එකේ තියෙන ඒවා left side එකේම ලියනවා. So this is the reduction reaction and this is the oxidation reaction. මේ දෙන්නම එකතු කරලා ලියන්න තියෙන්නේ. දැන් මේ left side arrow එකට left side එකේ තියෙන කවුද? zinc ඉන්නවා. H+ ions ඉන්නවා. Okay. නිකන් H+ ions නෙමෙයි 2H+ ions are there. Okay. එච්චරයි. 2 electrons are also there. මේ ආගේ 2 electrons. Here I am putting the arrow. Right side එකේ ඉන්නවා zinc 2+ ions ඉන්නවා. 2 electrons ලා ඉන්නවා. Plus here hydrogen gas is there. හරි. Write it down, note it down. මේ පැත්තේ 2 electrons ඉන්නවා. මේ පැත්තේ 2 electrons ඉන්නවා. මේ 2 electrons මේ 2 electrons cut වෙනවා. So that this is the balanced chemical equation. මේක තමයි මේ 2 electrons ලා නැතුව. Electrons ලා ඉන්න බෑ. Complete ionic reaction එක විතර. Electrons ටික balance වෙලා මේව cut වෙලා යන්න ඕනේ. Okay? So this is what we call as complete ionic reaction. Then complete ionic reaction එක දැන් මෙහෙම electrons cut උනේ නැත්තම් මොකද්ද කරන්නේ? I think those things are not in your syllabus. අපි ආවොත් ඒව discuss කරමු because I'm going to discuss all the things in this part. Okay? ආවොත් discuss කරමු. දැන්ට නම් තියෙන්නේ මෙහෙම 2 electrons ඇවිල්ලා cap කැපිලා යන ඒව තමයි. Okay. Okay. Now write the complete ionic reaction. This is the complete ionic reaction that is taking place. Okay. මේක වෙන complete ionic reaction එක ලියන්න කිව්වොත් මේක තමයි අපිට ලියන්න. Other than that, තව දෙයක් අපිට ලියන්න කියනවා. What is that? මොකක්ද ඒ? We have to find දැන් අපි කියවනේ මේ electrochemical cell එකක් කියලා. electrochemical cell එකක අපි කියව chemical energy electric energy වලට convert වෙන්නේ කියලා. ඉතින් electric energy වලට convert වෙනවා නම් definitely what should happen? Definitely what should happen? Electricity should be produced. ඒ කියන්නේ current එකක් produce වෙන්න ඕනේ. මෙතන දැන් current එකක් flow වෙන්න ඕනේ. ඒ chemical energy electricity වලට electric energy වලට convert වෙනවා නම්. So තාම අපිට current එකක් පේන්නේ නැහැ. So we have to find. So we have to find in which direction the current flows. හරිද? So how to find it? How to find it? We know that here මෙතන electrons zinc plate එක dissolve වෙන නිසා මෙන්න මේ electron zinc plate එක දැන් ගොඩක් තියෙනවා. That means the electron density at the zinc plate is high. That means the electron density at the zinc plate is higher than the electron density at the copper. So what is happening? Electrons ටික මෙන්න මේ පැත්තට zinc වලින් electrons ටික flow කරනවා මේ side එකට. හරිද electrons ටික because the electron density at the zinc is higher than the electron density at copper plate. හරිද? So we know something. දැන් අපි මේ electric current වලින් current electricity වලින් තව දෙයක් ගන්නවා. electron flow එකේ opposite direction එකට තමයි current flow වෙන්නේ. Okay? electron flow එකේ opposite side එකට තමයි current flow වෙන්නේ. So that the answer is if they ask the current direction, the flow of current, you must answer this. Current is flowing from copper to zinc. Current is flowing from copper to zinc. And if they ask the electron flow direction, you have to say from zinc to copper. I zinc to copper yanne. Because the electron density at the zinc is greater than the electron density at copper. Okay? Then ekat liya ganna. Okay, I will give 2-3 minutes. Not 2-3 minutes. Just like 1 minute. මොකද මේක හොඳට step wise හිමීට බලාගෙන යන්න. Okay? Write this down. I'm giving you time. Someone asked me asked for the activity series. I will send to the group. Okay? තේරුම් අරන් ඉවර නම් තේරිච්ච නැති දෙයක් තියෙනවා නම් please put it into the chat bar. I'll answer. Okay. Okay. මතක තියාගන්න විදිහත් එක්ක short trick එකක් විදියට activity series එක I sent to all the students, okay, to the group. Okay. So we are moving to the next part. Okay. දැන් මෙච්චරද current flow වෙන direction එක කියන්න පුළුවන් වෙන්න ඕනේ. Oxidation reaction එක ලියන්න පුළුවන් වෙන්න ඕනේ. Reduction reaction එක ලියන්න පුළුවන් වෙන්න ඕනේ. Complete ionic reaction එක ලියන්න පුළුවන් වෙන්න ඕනේ. Finally, observations. මොනවාද observations? අපිට පේනවා මේ zinc 2+ වලට dissolve වෙනවා කියන්නේ නිකම්ම මේ zinc 2+ වෙනවා කියන එකද? මේක zinc 2+ වෙනවා කියන එකද? No. කැඩිලා මේ aqueous solution එකට zinc 2+ ions වෙනවා කියන එක. That means the zinc plate is dissolving. This means zinc plate is dissolving. අපිට observations විදියට බලා ගන්න පුළුවන් zinc plate dissolve වෙනවා. Zinc dissolve වෙනවා බලා ගන්න පුළුවන්. අනිත් එක මේ hydrogen gas is producing. Hydrogen gas producing කොහෙද? copper ළඟ. copper reduce වෙන්නේ නැති වුණාට copper ළඟ hydrogen gas produce වෙනවා. So that hydrogen air bubbles are hydrogen gas bubbles at copper near copper electron හරිද? හරි. Then another thing is there, the biggest problem for you. What is the anode and cathode? What is the negative terminal and the positive terminal? ඒක තමයි අනිත් තියෙන ලොකුම ප්‍රශ්නේ. හරිද? This is somewhat I am going to tell. Oxidation takes place when anode decay. Oxidation is taking place at the anode. Reduction is taking place at the cathode. Oxidation උනේ කොහෙද? Zinc plate එකේ. So that zinc is the anode. Cathode, what is the cathode? Cathode එක කියන්නේ reduction එක take place වෙච්ච. Hydrogen ද? No. Cathode කියන්නේ electrode එකක් නේ. Hydrogen produce වෙන්නේ copper ළඟ. So that copper is the cathode. Copper එක reduce උනේ නැති වුණාට hydrogen ඇවිල්ලා reduce උනේ copper ළඟනේ. So that copper is the cathode. So that here copper is the cathode. Anode is zinc, copper is cathode. So what is then the next problem is to find the negative and the positive terminal. Negative කියලා කියන්නේ electrons වැඩිපුරම තියෙන side එක. මේ බලන්න electron density is higher in zinc than the copper. So that zinc is the negative terminal. Other one is the copper positive terminal. Electrons වැඩි side එකනේ. Here මේ පැත්තේ electrons වැඩිම electron density එක වැඩිම zinc වල. So that zinc is the negative terminal and copper is the positive terminal. Okay? Remember these things. I'm waiting for your yes after completing this. Then we'll move on. මම ඊට පස්සේ දෙන්නේ for you to write down everything. Okay. හරි නේද? Okay, we are moving on to the next part. අපි තව examples දෙකක් බලනවා, but you are the ones who are answering. Okay? I'm going to erase it, okay? Is it okay if I erase the board? Okay. So, if you haven't written this yet, please take a screenshot. I'm giving 5 seconds. Okay, I'm going to erase this. Okay. මම දැන් මේ ටියුට් එකේ එවල තියෙන්නේ ඔය වැඩ ටිකම තමයි. Okay. අද මේ කරන වැඩ ටිකම තමයි. You have to answer just. Okay. Just you have to answer. Then the second example we are taking, we are going to discuss is this. Are here not connecting a battery. Battery එක connect කරන්නේ නැහැ because this is a spontaneous reaction, no extra voltage is needed. Then ඉස්සෙල්ලා ගත්ත zinc and copper නේ. Now we are going to take iron and copper. Okay, iron and copper. One plate is iron, other plate is copper. The solution is diluted H2SO4. Okay. අර විදිහටම දැන් අපි කරමු. Okay, oxidation reaction එක. දැන් මම ඉස්සෙල්ලා කියපු දේවල් තේරිච්ච නැති කවුරු හරි ඉන්නවනම් wait. Yes, I sent the tube to the group. If you're going to send me send me your WhatsApp number, I'll add you to the group wall. Okay. Okay. Then something is happening like this. අපි බලන්න ඕනේ මේකේ මොකේද oxidation වෙන්නේ reduction වෙන්නේ මොකේද කියලා. So how to find copper the oxidize වෙන්නේ iron the oxidize වෙන්නේ කියලා we have to think. So what we are going to do? අපි මේ activity series එක ලියා ගන්නවා. copper iron එක කොහෙද තියෙන්නේ කියලා බලනවා. Iron is here, copper is here. So what is going to be oxidized? Oxidation is happen at the higher state element. Okay, higher. මේ දෙන්නගෙන් higher state එකේ ඉන්න කෙනාගේ තමයි oxidation එක වෙන්නේ. So that iron will oxidize. Okay, then ඔන්න බලමු අපි oxidation half reaction එක ලියන්නේ. Oxidation half reaction. We are going to write it down. Okay. Here iron electrode එක තියෙනවා oxidize වෙනවා කියන්නේ charge එක increase වෙන්න ඕනේ. That means it should be Fe2 plus. Fe2 plus. Okay, Fe2 plus is there. So what is going to happen? Fe becomes Fe2 plus. So we have to balance the reaction on oxidation එක උනා. Oxidation means increasing of the charge නේ. 0 here the charge value is 0. Here the charge is 0 and it becomes 2 plus. Okay. Now we have to balance. First, we have to balance atoms and ions. Here, one ion is there. Here also one ion is there. So that the atoms and ions are balanced. Now we have to balance the charges. Here 0, here plus 2. Now we have to balance them. How to balance them? I'll send. Okay. I have to balance them. How to balance them? We have to reduce this high charge. High charge 2 plus into 0. How to reduce them? By adding electrons. Electrons add කරලා තමයි මේක reduce කරන්නේ. Plus 2 minus 2 කරන්න ඕනේ. ඔන්න plus 2 0 කරන්න නම් මොනවද කරන්න ඕනේ? We have to add minus 2. That means 2 electrons. So this is the balanced chemical equation. Where the balance oxidation half reaction. Hari, done. Oxidation half reaction එක කොහොම හරි ලියා ගන්න. Now we have to write the reduction half reaction. Reduction half reaction. Okay, the reduction half reaction. So here, what is the reduction half reaction? Copper oxide reduce another. Copper reduce another? No, because any metal is not going to form their negative ions. Here, copper is having 0 oxidation state නේ 0 charge එකක් තමයි තියෙන්නේ. ඉතින් එයා තවත් reduce වෙන්න ඕනේ නම් එයාගේ charge එක reduce it has to reduce its charge. So to reduce it what they have to do? It have to become negative. Negative වෙන්න බෑ කිසිම metal එකක. Negative ions form කරන්න බෑ. So that is why I am telling copper is not reducing. Even though metals can oxidize, but copper cannot form. Metals can't form in negative ions. Metals වලට reduce වෙන්න පුළුවන්. Metal ions වලට reduce වෙන්න පුළුවන්. හැබැයි metals වලට, metal atoms වලට මෙහෙම reduce වෙලා negative ions හදන්න බෑ. Okay? ඒක නිසා මෙතන copper reduce වෙන්නේ නැහැ. So what is going to reduce then? We have to come to the solution. H plus ions and SO4 2 minus ions are there. මේ දෙන්නගෙන් කවුද වෙන්නේ oxygen reduce? Sulfate ගැන අපි දන්නේ නැහැනේ වැඩි. Hydration වෙනවා කියන ඉතින් we are just assuming and that assumption is correct. So H plus ions are there, that is reducing into H2 gas. Okay, H2 gas. You can say මෙන්න මෙතනින් H2 gas bubbles දාන්න ගන්න. Okay, H2 gas bubbles දාන්න ගන්න. Okay, here now I am going to balance this reaction. කොහොම හරි චුට්ට චුට්ට ලියාගත්තා. Now we have to balance this. Here 2 hydrogen is there. Here we have to put 2 to balance the atoms. Okay, and what about the charges? Here plus 1 is there. Plus 1 charge is there. But there are 2 hydrogen H plus ions. That means 2 plus charge is there. Plus 2 charge is there. So that plus 2, here 0. So that now we have to balance this one. කොහොමද balance කරන්නේ? May plus 2, 0 වලට we have to reduce the high charges into low values. So that may plus 2, 0 වලට අඩු කරන්න ඕනේ. How to do that? By adding electrons. Electrons දෙකක් add කරාම negative 2 charge එකක් add වෙනවා. Negative 2 plus positive 2 means that is 0. So that the reduction reaction is also completed. Done and dusted. Okay. So this is the reduction reaction. Now we are going to write the complete ionic reaction. Complete ionic reaction. On the complete ionic reaction එක කියනවා කොහොමද ලියන්නේ? මේ side එකේ තියෙන අයවයි මේ side එකේ තියෙන අයවයි write කරන්න යන්නේ. Fe is there, ion is there, plus මේ side එකේ මෙතන තියෙන්නේ. Here this is the reduction reaction. 2 electrons plus 2 H plus ions plus. Here මේ side එකේ Fe2 plus ions plus 2 electrons plus මේ side එකේ H2. හරිද? So මේ 2 electrons to මේ 2 electrons cut වෙනවා. It is very very essential to put the physical states. Denote the physical states. Physical states කොහොමද අපි ලියාගෙන යන්නේ? Here Fe is electrode. ඒ කියන්නේ metal එකක් නෙවෙයි. ඒ කියන්නේ solid එකක්. Solid state එකේ තියෙන්නේ. Fe2 plus හැදෙනවා කියලා කියන්නේ මෙන්න මෙහෙම Fe dissolve වෙන්න ගන්නවා කියන එක. ඒ කියන්නේ මෙහෙම positive Fe2 plus ions මෙහෙම aqueous solution එකට release වෙනවා කියන්නේ. That means 2 plus ions in aqueous solution එකේ. That means 2 plus ions are in aqueous state. H plus ions are already in the aqueous solution. So that H plus ions are aqueous state. Gases H2 gas නේ. So that in gaseous state. A stage ටිකම මෙතනක් දාන්න ඕනේ. Solid, aqueous, and this is gas. And write this down. Yeah, I will add you to the group. Wait. Okay, others write this down quickly. Yes, one is done. Great. Here your phone number, it doesn't say that WhatsApp is there. WhatsApp, Viber, good nahi. So what to do? WhatsApp, Viber, in a phone number, I can add you to the group. Here I'll explain. Then I explain karana current flow in a direction. So it is like this. Current is flowing. Here we can see iron is the one who is oxidizing. Iron wala electron density ek වැඩි. Because it has produced electrons. So that more electrons are there. So that ions are negatively charged. Ions have more electrons than copper. See, think what is happening? From iron to copper, these electrons are passing towards the copper. From iron to copper, electrons are passing from iron to copper. So that the electron flow is from iron to copper. But I asked the current direction. We know that current direction is opposite side of the electron flow direction. Electrons may pattern flow වෙන්නේ, current flow වෙන්නේ මේ පැත්තට. So that the current direction is from copper to iron. Okay, current direction is from copper to iron. And please send me the anode and cathode. Anode dekai, cathode dekai. Iron the anode deka, cathode, copper the anode deka. Likewise, what is the anode and the cathode? What is the anode and the cathode? Oxidization is taking place. Yes. Anode, yes. Anode is iron, copper is cathode. Okay. Oxidation is taking place at anode. Anode dekේ තමයි oxidation වෙන්නේ. Okay. So what is happening? Anode dekේ තමයි oxidize වෙන්නේ. So that here what is happening? Oxidation when anode dekේ. So that iron is the one who is oxidizing. So that anode is iron. Okay. So what is then the cathode is copper. Then cathode hydrogen reduced to water, but hydrogen is produced at hydrogen gas is produced at copper. It is a cathode copper. Okay. Then what is the negative and positive terminals? Okay. මොකද්ද දැන් positive terminal එකයි negative terminal එකයි කියන එක තමයි ඊළඟ ප්‍රශ්න. My answer වැඩිපුර electrons තියෙන්නේ iron වල. So that negative electrons can, so that negative terminal is iron, positive terminal is copper. Okay, write this down. Okay, giving 2-3 minutes to write this down. 3 hours කරන්න නැතුව shall we go to 30-minute break? 30 minutes break එකක් අරගෙන I 2 hours කරලා then again to 30 minutes break after that 2 hours, then finally we are doing the third session. එතකොට මහන්සිත doing 2 hours 2 hours 2 hours then චූටි rest එකක් අරගෙන එන්න. If you don't want to take a rest, then do the tute I sent you. Okay. Okay, wait. Someone, I'll call you then. Wait. Others write this down. After this one, a short break is 30-minute break is there. Okay, so the session will again start at 8:30. Yes, I saw your number in WhatsApp. Okay, I'll add. හැබැයි මේ break එක ඉවර වෙලා එද්දී you have to do the 8th question, 9th question and the 10th question of the tute. හරිද? You have to do 8th, 9th and 10th question of the tute. Do 8th, 9th and 10th question of the tute. same link, okay? Same link. After writing this down, put yes. හැමෝම yes දැම්මම තමයි මම මේක ඉවර කරන්නේ. That means